Thank you so much for being here. This is great to see so many people that are taking an interest in what's going on in Dumfries and Galloway and our local producers and the future for food production and innovation. So thank you so much for coming. My name is Nick Morris and I'm the Station House Cookery School element to the proceedings. We've just recently acquired this fantastic building, and next year we're going to be opening up as a cookery school, which is focusing very much on working with local producers to get local products in their best form and turning it into fantastic food that everybody is able to cook in their own homes. It's not about teaching people to be high-end chefs and go off and work in Michelin-star restaurants. It's about great produce cooked properly in your own homes. Hopefully with a lot of diversity and interesting things. We're going to be working with children and adults and all kinds of different courses. And the one common link between the four of us is that we're all new, relatively new, to Dumfries and Galloway. We didn't grow up here, and we've actually chosen this as our home to come and set up a food business, essentially. And the idea of today's discussion is firstly to give people like yourselves a chance to meet the producers and the people that are producing this wonderful food. Please do feel to ask any questions you want at any point. Just stop us, because we all like talking, all four of us. And so put your hand up, we'll stop talking and we'll take any questions from the floor, okay? And it's my absolute pleasure to introduce at the end Anne Slater from Salad Brew, and Nicola Sanderson, from Upper Sennick Farm, and Rupert Shaw from Gled Park, hello. Who is the UK's Park venison breed. Can you explain a little bit about what that is?
I can absolutely. Venison, the generic name for deer meat at the moment, traditionally was only taken as a wild beast from the hill, and you'd all be familiar with that. Since the sort of 60s and 70s, it's been farmed in various methods. There is a compromise between farming, in that sense of using sheds, total mixed rations and the rest of it, and truly wild in the most remote regions, and that is what they call a park system. And some of the larger estates in England that are quite famous for their deer, such as Woburn, Warnham, have park systems, extensive 3,000 or 4,000 acre setups, where the animals are free in effect to live a wild life, but for the interests of their welfare, they're given supplementary feeding. And in effect, that's what we run. Although we're a farm, we run a park system. So the animals, as far as they're concerned, are living a wild life. But unlike really being in the wild, I will ensure that there's always some food on the table during those worst parts of the year. So that's what a park system is. Assurance, there are all sorts of assurance schemes. You'll have understood the Red Tractor, you'll understand Quality Meat Scotland assurance. There is an assurance scheme for venison, and I just happen to be the first UK business to pass that test, as it were. So there's my promotion over.
That's absolutely fantastic. One thing, let's begin certainly, Anne, let's go to you at the end. Could you give us a bit of an insight as to why you chose Dumfries and Galloway?
Oh, we like it. We've been on holiday here over the last 20 years or so, and really like it. We also previously lived in the country, and it was always very difficult to get decent fresh fruit and veg. So we decided that we'd have to go at growing and selling fruit.
Can you tell us a little bit about your hydroponics setup, which we can see demonstrated here?
The joy of hydroponics is that you can be very productive on a small piece of not terribly good ground. And for us it ticks lots of boxes, so we can produce a lot. It's good in that we're using recirculating systems. The thing about hydroponics is you can optimally adjust the growing conditions for the plants. So you should be producing very good produce, very fresh produce. You're not dumping fertilisers in the environment, you're not wasting water. Well, that's not a problem in Dumfries and Galloway. So there are lots of things. It's sustainable, basically, and we should be able to produce a decent amount of good stuff.
Absolutely, that's fantastic. I must admit, when I first read about hydroponics, there are a few people that have a few questions about it. For me as a cook, the first thing is about taste, and I've got to say it tastes fantastic. First thing I did when I heard that Anne was doing what she's doing, I called her mum and said, can I come and see you? I want to come and see what you're doing and really get in the middle of it. And I had never tasted hydroponic salad leaves and herbs and tomatoes directly off the vine before. I couldn't tell the difference, and I'm extremely fussy about my fruit and vegetable. And in a lot of ways, it's better than a lot of stuff you can, because I've grown a lot in soil. Because you can, I'm right in saying you can actually control the mineral content and the feed to a much greater extent, can't you?
Basically, so we're growing things in perlite, which is just a mineral, an inert mineral, and you circulate fluid that contains salt, basically, and the plants take up salt as they need it. And at different points in the growing season you alter the concentration of salts, so that in theory they should be having ideal growing conditions.
Great.
If we get it right.
Nicola, let's move on to you. Can you give us a bit of your backstory and why you chose Dumfries and Galloway and what you do?
Yeah, so myself and my husband were farming over in Yorkshire, and we needed a bigger farm, we wanted more land, we needed another house because we got married. And so we started looking. We very nearly bought somewhere the other side of the water in Cumbria, but by sort of sheer accident and coincidence that didn't happen, and we came upon the farm at Borg, and we're so glad that we did, because I know this area very well. My parents have had a holiday home at Kirkcudbright for many, many years, and it's such a lovely area to live. It's a lovely place to be. People are very, very friendly. The land is very fertile. For us, our main business is sheep farming, and there's plenty of rain, which produces lots of lush green grass, which is exactly what we're looking for to feed our lambs on. And so this was the ideal place to be, and we soon discovered that it was also a brilliant place to be producing food. And over the last 3 years, we've diversified to produce different types of products, the eggs and now pork as well, to take on board the fact that we're in a region that is very conscious of its food, that wants good food, and that there are more and more people coming in, like Nick, who want to promote food and food tourism in Dumfries and Galloway. So we just feel like we're in the ideal place, we've got our finger on the pulse, and Dumfries and Galloway is definitely going places with their food and their drinks industry. It's the place to watch.
Absolutely. And Nicola's eggs, the free-range eggs, are stunning. I'm not kidding you. It's all I'm going to use at the moment because they are just absolutely superb. We'll be drawing to a close in a minute. Nicola and Anne, anything that you'd like to come in on at the end?
No, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone who's come to listen to us, and I hope you've had an enjoyable day. We've certainly had an amazing day as producers, and it's so heartwarming to know that there's so many people who are interested in our products and have come to support us and buy our eggs and our pork. And I hope that you'll come back and we'll all see you again.
Yeah, absolutely. Anne?
Likewise, thanks for coming. Come and take some tomatoes away, and we will be at the farm market next year.
Absolutely. So, thank you very much to our guests. Please do take the time, come and have a look at the hydroponics setup here as well.